acum vei afla de ce nimeni nu părăsește vreodată hotelul Mâței.
Haide, curaj! Plecăm! Serviciile sunt sub orice critică. Oh, ce pătură frumoasă are bunicul! Ce-ar fi să-ți luăm și ție una?
Auga!
Ea nu este doar o actriță. Este un simbol.
You see what I see?
Pregătește-te să-ți începi săptămâna cu eleganță cinematografică.
Just like old times.
Lunea cu Nicole Kidman. Luni la 20:30 la Warner TV. În curând urmează Flirt.
I came to New York when I was 19, and I came from Texas. And I had left Michigan, where I grew up in Detroit, and I set out to see the world. And for some reason or other, I went to Texas first. And then I was there for less than a year, and I took a train to New York. So I arrived in Grand Central Station. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the people rushing and the crowds and the pace. And I remember I asked a man in a newsstand where something was, and he said, "Over there." And I almost cried because I felt like I had done something wrong. It took me a while to get used to the form of friendliness in New York, rather brusque compared to Texas at that time. Well, growing up in Detroit, my opening to the rest of the world was the movies. And I remember the first time that I saw a film, I don't remember what the film was, but it took place in New York. And I remember the feeling when I saw it. I went, oh, it's not all Detroit. So I couldn't wait to get to New York. Well, when I first got to New York, I didn't have much money, so I kind of made do as best I could. But my first apartment that I got was in the first floor of a brownstone on 87th Street between East End and York. And I lived there for quite a few years. I had a modeling career. It was different then. It was in the 50s. It wasn't as fast-paced and as crowded as it is now. As a matter of fact, I remember walking home from a date at 2 in the morning in August, where most of the New Yorkers had cleared out, and walking up Park Avenue barefoot in an evening gown carrying my shoes, and there was no traffic at all, in the middle of the street. One of my favorite things to do, because I stayed up all night very often, was to go over to the East River and watch the sunrise. And one of the games, I don't remember who, a gentleman friend introduced me to, was to see if we could slip money into the pocket of a homeless person without waking them up. So that became a favorite game of ours. Them days are gone forever. If you walk down the street in New York for a few blocks, you'll see one of everything. You know, there's every type of human being is here, from the most refined and cultured and educated and stylish to the most tribal and natural and rough diamond, to crazy, to foreign from all parts of the world. Everything and everybody is here. So if you want to find behavior for a character, you just have to walk out on the streets of New York. I don't think I could really live anywhere else for very long. I just played the West End in London, and I was there for 6 months, and it was wonderful, and I loved London, and I visited Paris a couple of times during that time. And Paris is a beautiful city, and I love going there. But to live, I think once you've lived in New York, it's hard to be satisfied with any other city.